I couldn't pay. I couldn't help pay the rent no more. So I basically got put out. Okay.
You gotta go to the sacred place, catch a vibe and some saving grace. Said you don't have time to choose. You can win or you can lose.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sapphire. If you're new here, hey. So I wanted to talk about why we stay stuck in certain situations. So about 3 years ago, well, 4 now because my baby about to be 4. I was in a situation, so I had got pregnant, and I was independent. I was driving, a truck driver or what the case may be, whatever case may be. And I had a roommate at the time. Before that, I think I lived by myself, but something had happened and I got put out of my apartment, and really it was not fault of my own, y'all. I'm gonna have to tell y'all that story another time. But so I was living with a roommate and I got pregnant, and when I got pregnant, I had lost my job because I was too sick. So you know what that means. I couldn't help pay the rent no more. So I basically got put out. Okay. So I was staying with like different family members for a while, and it wasn't working out because of certain reasons. And I won't get into that right now. But yeah, I finally had wound up in a homeless shelter. And that didn't work out because a boyfriend that I had occurred. Y'all, it's a long story, and y'all probably gonna think like, I don't really care what nobody think. But I had occurred a boyfriend while I was pregnant, because this is during the time where, I really didn't have no self-love for myself. Okay, and I'm not gonna say that you can't occur a boyfriend while you're pregnant and have self-love for yourself and still, love on your child or whatever. But the person that I attracted, they didn't love their self, and I didn't love myself. I was going through so much. Like I said, I was homeless, staying with different people, and it seemed like everybody I stayed with, they was giving me a hard time. For one, I was pregnant. It was my first pregnancy, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it. Y'all, had just lost my job, going through a whole bunch of hormones. I was sick all the time because, I had morning sickness or whatever. And so, I got in a relationship, and I was staying in a shelter, and this person was staying in a shelter with me. They actually helped me get the shelter. So, and this is turning into a long story time, y'all, but bear with me because I have a reason why I'm saying this, okay? So, yeah. Deidre, can you turn that down more, please? I don't want it in my video. So, y'all, yeah. So, this person, once I kind of was starting to get myself back together in the right mind state and, stuff like that. I was in my Bible and reading, still during while I was dating this person. I started to see them for who they truly were, But at some point in time, my mind was kind of in the same mind state as him because I wouldn't have attracted him, right? But God, okay? But God, he pulled me out of, the way that I was feeling or whatever. Worthless, and, as God started to show me who I really was, that I'm not the person that I felt like I was because I thought I was a failure. And y'all, I know it's like you go through certain things and it make you feel like you're not, especially when you go through things and you don't have no support or nobody to help you through, you know, the situations, nobody telling you that, you know, this is all going to be over someday. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to make it to the other side of your situation. It's hard because, you know, you don't have that encouragement. So at this point in time, y'all, I'm feeling like, you know, I'm not good enough. You know, I probably felt like I wasn't beautiful. Like, I was just not thinking, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't myself at all. I didn't know who I was. Like, I remember every part of what happened. And I think I remember it because most of the time when you go through traumatic things, you forget certain parts and you try to forget it on purpose. But in this instance, I didn't forget nothing. And I think I didn't forget it because it was one of the hardest things I went through in my life, because I done been through some stuff. But it was different. So it was one of the hardest things that I went through in my life. And that was trying to find my way, you know, being pregnant and not having no support, okay? And then the person that I thought, you know, was supporting me, that person really was just using me, okay? So the person that I was with was just using me because, yeah, I ain't gonna get into that, whatever. But so when I finally found out, like, who this person was, or that I didn't belong in the situation, or whatever the case may be, I tried to leave. And y'all, so you know, when I tried to leave, this person took my card. And I never told nobody about this. I just cried about it and kept on going. This person had took my card and took money off of it, okay? And like, I had to call this person and beg them to give me my money back because I was pregnant. Like, for one, the only reason I had money is because I was working, like I said, I was a truck driver, right? And I was getting unemployment, so my unemployment check had came in. And so I had money because, you know, my unemployment. And so I was like buying rooms and stuff like that and then I had finally, well, this was after. So y'all, it's a lot because, like I said, when you think back on some of the things that you've been through after you come out of a certain mind state, it looks so dumb. Like, you know what I mean? It looked like, what was I doing? Why would I keep going back to this person after they done did something? So after he took my money, I never went back. But it was another instance where we got into something and I went back. And the only reason I went back is because I thought that he was the only person I had. But fast forward, when I said I started getting into my Bible and things like that, and God brought me out of the mindset that I was in, thinking that I even needed anybody when I was the one really taking care of myself. So long story short, after that, I went to go stay with my dad in North Carolina. And like, I don't have nothing bad to say about that situation. Like, I really was able to like get myself together, get in the right mind state. Only thing about that I have to say is that my doctor's appointments, for some reason, I forget the exact reason, but I couldn't, I didn't switch my doctor over, so I would have to drive 2 hours every time. 2 hours there and 2 hours back every time, you know, I had a doctor's appointment by myself all the way up until like 8 months. And then when I finally turned 8 months, they allowed me to switch my doctor over. But I still had my baby in Virginia, and I'm gonna tell you why. So every time I drove back after that time, I went and applied for an apartment, okay? So I kept on calling and I kept on calling. And one time I had called, and this was like it was like a month before my due date. And so one time I called and she was like, "Miss Stewart?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Your name is next on the list. When can you come in, y'all?" And so that happened. And then as soon as I moved in, no lie, like as soon as I moved in, like maybe 3 weeks later, I had my baby. And then this another unemployment check hit, y'all. And so I was able to buy everything I needed, like for real. And then when I was in North Carolina, my aunt had gave me a bunch of clothes, like, because her baby is a stair step above my baby. So I had everything I needed for my baby. I had a place to stay. I still had my car through all of that. Like, I was still paying my car note and all that other stuff. So as you can imagine, like, even though all of that happened, and now I can look back at it and smile and be like, thank you, God, because it won't nothing that God that brought me out of that situation so that I can be like where I am now, and, you know, and think a different way. Okay, so let me rinse these dishes real quick. I'll be right back. Yes. All right, y'all. So after I moved in my apartment, right, I you know, I had my baby and whatnot, and I was still going through things, and that's a story for another time. Like, but so when, okay, let me, so obviously I was homeless for a reason, right? And I didn't have the support that I needed. But after I, you know, got myself together through the grace of God, after God assisted me to get myself together, I went right back to the people, you know, or things or whatever that, you know, didn't support me. So I was still going through things, okay? I was still going through things. And I was unable to heal from everything, you know, from being homeless, and from all I could think about, you know, was, you know, I was homeless and I couldn't depend on this and that person, and this and that person wouldn't do that for me, and blah, blah, blah. That's all I would think about. That's all I could think about. It was bad because, you know, I had just had my baby. Granted, I took good care of my baby. I've always taken good care of my baby. And that's something that I do because of things that I've been through in the past. So that's kind of like, you could call it like a trauma response. So the trauma and things that happened to me when I was younger caused me to, you know, be a better mom to my child, you know, a good mom to my child. So I've always put her first, no matter how I felt and no matter what I went through, y'all. And that was by the grace of God as well. He sent me what I needed, and, you know, who I needed, and, you know, the things like that that would allow me to be a good mother to my child. Hold on, y'all. I got to get my fruit. So because I kept on, you know, allowing the same people into my life, and the same things kept on happening, I kept on reliving the same things. It was like a big cycle. And I didn't know what was happening. You know, from the outside looking in, from somebody from a healed place, like, they probably could tell what was going on, but all I was thinking about, I'm sorry if I'm loud, y'all, whatever. All I could think about was, you know, this is who I got, this is all I got, you know, these are the people that I got, or whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't allow myself to heal. Now, fast forward, I kept reading, I kept praying, I kept working on myself, you know, doing the things, you know, that I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, I'm making a big smoothie for me and my baby. Okay, so yeah, I kept growing, learning, doing the things that I was supposed to be doing. And I was finally, you know, able to heal. And so
I put those in my movie.
I know, please don't touch that. Please don't touch that.
Can I have one?
Sure. Why you always coming in here while I'm trying to make something and then bossing me, telling me how to do it? Huh?
A raspberry. Okay.
Here.
Blueberry.
Go sit down.
Blueberry.
But yeah, y'all, so I was finally able to heal, and I skipped over a bunch of stuff, but it was like I was reading my Bible like I never have, okay? And God was showing me things, and I didn't even know what he was showing me. But after he shows you what he shows you, and it starts to make an impact on your life, then you could be like, oh, okay, this is what God was doing. Okay, so after I went through all of that and I healed, okay, well, healed as much as I could. Like I said, it's only by the grace of God that my mind is not where it was. And y'all, my mind was bad. Like every person I met, I talked to about what I felt somebody did to me or why I'm in the situation that I'm in. And it wasn't until I decided that I was no longer gonna live in my past or what somebody had done to me or what I felt like somebody had done to me until I was able to move on and become something better. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to stay stuck in the situation, because if I would have stayed stuck in my mindset of thinking like, woe is me, and nobody helped me when I was homeless, and you know, nobody was there for me the way that I wished that they was there and stuff like that. If I would have stayed like that, then I would have never, you know, been able to be more than what I was. So y'all, moral of the story is, we can't,
Mom,
Egypt. What is it?
raspberry.
Egypt, patience.
What do you want?
But you need to wait, because I'm still making the smoothie, and then I'll bring you your raspberries. I'm not going to stop in the middle of what I'm doing.
Raspberry.
So y'all, moral of the story is, we can't stay stuck, you know, in our past feelings and emotions because of what people has done to us, because that's why we're where we are. Okay, what we think is where we are, and everything starts in the mind. Okay, so if in your mind you're still thinking in the past, that's where your reality is gonna be. It doesn't matter where you are physically, it matters where your mind, where your mental is. If your physical body is in the hood, but your mentality is in a mansion, you can live however you want to live. But if your body is in the hood and your mind is in the hood, then that's what you're gonna be, and that's where you're always gonna be. And I'm just keeping it, 100. Like, if you want more, then you gotta think more. You gotta be more, okay? And that's basically what I wanted to get to. Like, if you keep on wondering why your life is like a cycle and you trying to get out of it, like, you have to change the way you think. And with changing the way you think, you got to change the people you around too. And it, like, you don't have to hate them people. You don't have to feel no type of way. Like, it's not about them. It's about you. It's about how you want people to treat you and what you need in your life that is that allows you to be a better person. Because at the end of the day, those people gonna go on about their life and doing what they're gonna do, no matter what you going through, okay? And that's evidence. Like, think of your track record, like all the things that you've been through. Who stayed 10 toes down with you? You just gotta think about that. If nobody stayed 10 toes down with you, then those not your people. Those not the people that's gonna be shooting in the gym with you every time you go through something. Okay? And that's just facts. Like, sometimes we have to remove ourselves from people because, you know, come get them. Like, when I was going through the things that I was going through, I listened to songs that pertain to, you know, my situation, and it kept me in the mind state of thinking, you know, bad things, or keep on thinking about people and, you know, stuff like that. So you got to change like a 360. You got to change everything. Change the music that you listen to. You know what I mean? Because if you listening to Everybody Ain't Your Friend by Lil Boosie, and I forgot MO3, then that's what you always gonna be thinking. Everybody ain't your friend. But it's not that everybody ain't your friend, it's just that some people ain't your friend. So you don't want to have all that trauma and stuff that you went through and start bringing it into different relationships of different people that God is sending in your life to make things better. Okay? But if you want something different, first start by isolating yourself from the people that you're around. And as you isolate yourself from the people that you're around, they're going to start to show you who they are. They'll start to show you why they're around you, if you can really depend on them. People that you isolate yourself from and you just need space, like, you don't have to explain nothing to nobody, for real. They're gonna be before they get mad, they'll be concerned. And sometimes, and I'm not saying just because they concerned that's, because sometimes people's concern is not really concern. Sometimes people act concerned. So you still got to be careful with that. But anybody who doesn't, who respects you and who really cares about you, their concern is going to come from the heart. You know, they're going to be like, what's wrong? Or you can, something like that. But like I said, everybody concerned don't come from a loving space. So you got to be careful with that. And you'll be able to feel, you'll know if when you check this person's track record, if they really concerned. Like, have they ever really been concerned, or are they just concerned because they the problem? Okay? But yeah, y'all, that's all. I just want to share that. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Like, you can bring yourself out of the mind state that you were in. Like, your mind is a powerful thing. I encourage, everybody who may be watching this video to get closer to God, because God is going to show you who you are, and he's going to help you set boundaries for yourself that'll allow you to heal, and to become a better person. So y'all, that's all I got. I'm finna enjoy my smoothie with my baby and going about my day. And I love you. Remember,
it doesn't matter, baby, put up a fight. Cause when the Lord says it's time to go, it's a yes or